All right, good morning, everybody. Wonderful to be with you all via Zoom, a regular call to Karma community. We've been here for 1,516 days now. And a warm welcome to everyone on YouTube. Super happy to be able to be with you all and to have all these modes and mediums of communication with the world. So welcome, welcome, welcome. There's a lot of ground I want to cover today, and today's monologue and meditation may be a bit strange, might be a bit hard conceptually to grasp, but I hope it provides you some insight into the nature of reality, or at least how I'm experiencing it. And in doing so, then I hope it provides you a comfort level in being able to meet your experience more fully and more completely in every moment. I don't feel like I'm moving through life. I feel like life is flowing through me. I feel like emotions, thoughts, the experience of the body, life events, and circumstances are flowing through my awareness. So I'm actually not moving through anything. Everything is moving through me. Leave me a 1 or yes in the chat if we're having the right discussion on the right day, at the right time, with the right group of people. And I've always felt that way. I've always felt like life was moving through me. Life was moving through me. Emotions were just always moving through me. So, for example, I wasn't having an emotion. An emotion was just simply present in my awareness. Right? I'm not thinking thoughts. Thoughts are just floating through my awareness. There's a physical progression or a maturation that happens through time biologically. But all of that is just happening within the field of my awareness, within that which I'm able to perceive, right? So reality is just a river that flows through my individual lens of perception. And last night in our accountability call, it was wonderful to go into this in greater detail, and it's nice to recap it again here for everyone, because I feel like sometimes these things are a bit hard to grasp, and I feel like it's a wonderful thing to grasp, because once you do, you realize that life isn't something that you're doing. Life is something that's flowing through you. Okay? Leave me a 1 or yes in the chat if this is beginning to land. Life isn't something that you're doing. Life is something that's just simply flowing through you. Emotions are just flowing through you. Thoughts are just flowing through you. The you in this case being the awareness that you are, the individual lens of perception that you have. So why is this pertinent? Well, because if emotions are just flowing through you, and thoughts are just flowing through your awareness, and everything is just present in your lens of perception, then why do we have to take ownership over any of it? Right? Like, if it's all just flowing through us, then why do we have to personalize any of it? Why do we have to latch on to any of it as the truth of ourselves? Isn't it just an experience that we're having in the moment? And if it's just an experience that we're having in the moment, then isn't our role in all of this just to allow ourselves to have it fully? So here's something that might support you. If you're blessed enough to find the end of the rainbow and to stand in it, you'll notice that every spectrum of light that consists of the rainbow is just present. that there's no one spectrum of light, no one color that's more important or more significant than any other. Now, you may have a preference, you might be partial to orange, like your bedroom may be orange, your car may be orange, your bathroom may be orange, your toothpaste may be orange, you may only eat carrots and orange colored foods, you may only drink orange beverages. You do you, boo. But that's a different thing. That's a preference that you have. However, if the totality of the expression called life is a rainbow, then isn't our role in all of this just to welcome every color, every spectrum of light that consists of that rainbow? So then isn't our role in all of this human thing to welcome every emotion, every feeling, every thought, every experience that we're having that's just flowing through us? Let's try it. Close your eyes and breathe and relax for a moment. Leave me a 1 or a yes in the chat when you begin to feel a shift in your state of being. Wonderful. So let's imagine for a moment that we're not having emotions. Emotions are just experiences that are flowing through us. Or another way of stating it is that an emotion is just an interpretation of infinity moving through our awareness. It's all just light, vibration, and frequency. And it's just the interpretation that we place on that particular manifestation of light, vibration, and frequency. So let's imagine for a second that sadness is flowing through us. Just take a deep breath. It's not ours. It's just flowing through us. It's flowing through our awareness, our individual lens of perception. Well, let's also acknowledge that anger flows through us. It's not ours. It's just flowing through our individual lens of perception. Fear flows through us. Feelings like guilt or shame flow through us. Thoughts flow through us. That everything is flowing through us. And to give you a visual that works, just imagine there's a rainbow flowing through you. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So life as an experience is just light, vibration, and frequency flowing through you. Now, why do we struggle? Well, we struggle because we, first of all, personalize what's flowing through us. My emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, my body, etc., etc., etc. But what if we took ownership? If we lifted the illusion of ownership off of every emotion, feeling, thought, or physical experience, even aging. So it's not that these are my emotions. It's more, Every now and again, I'm just experiencing emotion. It's not so much that these are my feelings, it's that every now and again, I'm aware of feelings. Same thing with the thoughts, same thing with the body, same thing with everything. Just take some breaths and just see if this opens something up for you. And so then we don't have to be traumatized by the reoccurrence of an emotion. The only reason why we allow ourselves to be traumatized by the reoccurrence or reemergence of an emotion is because we personalize the emotion and we assign it to a point in time and space called a memory, and we think it means something about us. So it's only ever the personalization of emotions and feelings that contribute to the creation of the experience of suffering. So just imagine for a moment, see, feel, experience, and know that there's a rainbow of light flowing through you. A rainbow of light. And this rainbow of light consists of light, vibration, and frequency that then you, based on your programming and your conditioning, interpret into your experience of reality. How am I doing? There's just light, vibration, and frequency flowing through you. For me, it's infinite. And then based on one's programming or conditioning, you then translate that light, that vibration, or that frequency into a form. But what happens if we just leave the rainbow alone? What happens if we don't have to identify with any of it, or latch on to any of it, or make any of it mean anything, actually? What if these are just experiences that are flowing through our individual lens of perception? If it's all just energy, then what's the problem? So just allowing it to be a rainbow river of light or energy flowing through you. And for the purposes of this demonstration on the nature of reality and how reality works, and how we're not moving through life, but life is moving through us, don't assign any meaning to anything that's flowing through you. Just take a breath. Why do we have to identify any of it? Why can't we just enjoy the light show? It's just flowing through you. And maybe we can allow everything from the past that we needed to identify or personalize to flow through us too. Because the truth is, do you actually ever have any control over an emotion or a feeling? I mean, they're just awkward, aren't they? Don't they just appear at the most inconvenient of times? So it's not like you have any say over when you experience these things. Aren't they just happening? Don't feelings just randomly happen, at the most inconvenient, inopportune moments? You just have these things called feelings. You're not making yourself think thoughts. You're not making yourself go through things in your body. Maybe you're standing still, and infinity is flowing through you. And this reality is constructed so beautifully that the physical component is to delineate a passage of time that isn't true because you're infinite, eternal, and immortal. So it's like the body's like an hourglass. It measures a passage through time that isn't even real. Because you're infinite, eternal, and immortal. That awareness is infinite, eternal, and immortal. So, are you actually ever aging? No. So the body's just like an hourglass that passes through time as a placeholder for the passage of time. But the awareness, the one who's aware of it, is infinite, eternal, and immortal. So I'm saying all of this. Well, first of all, how are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. And then I'll let you know why I'm saying all of this. And for those of you that joined a little bit late, I'm not moving through life. Life is flowing through me. Emotions are just flowing through my individual lens of perception. Feelings just arise and subside in my perception, in my awareness. Thoughts just arise and subside in my individual lens of perception, my awareness. And my body's just like a placeholder to delineate the passage of time. But I'm not really aging. The awareness, the one who's aware, is not aging. The one who's aware is infinite, eternal, and immortal. So then all of this is simply about allowing this infinite river of light, vibration, and frequency to flow through you. Take some breaths. Maybe this whole life thing is just about allowing this rainbow spectrum of light to flow through you. I'm just using a rainbow to give you an example. It's more like an infinite field of golden light that then you turn into things because of the programming, conditioning that you've received. So just imagine for a moment that you didn't know what sadness was. Would you ever have a problem with it? Or that sadness is an experience that isn't personal to you. It's just happening. It's not happening because something's malfunctioned, something is wrong. Maybe it's just an experience that's just happening. Maybe that's true about fear and true about anger, but when we take the wrapper off of all of those emotions or feelings or thoughts or even the body, then what's left? Well, what's left is just the awareness, right? What's left is actually just the awareness, just the one who's aware. And then what's happening? Well, light, energy, vibration, and frequency is just flowing through awareness. So are you the experience that you're having, or are you the one that's aware of the experience? And when you unpack the experience itself, isn't it all just infinite light being interpreted by you based on your programming, your conditioning, the way your individual lens of perception has been molded or shaped by others? So then this is our shot at freedom. Because if you're really listening, what I'm saying to you is that you don't have to actually interpret on a personal level anything that's happening. Because if you're not moving through life, life is moving through you, then isn't this more about just witnessing and watching than anything else? I mean, you don't take ownership over the weather. You don't blame yourself for the snow. You don't hold yourself hostage because it's raining. You don't personalize a heat wave. See, it's because I'm alive. It's hot today. Everything's so hot. It's because I'm alive. So if you're not doing it with more natural phenomenon like the weather, and the weather is not personal, then why is anything else? Maybe it's all just an infinite river of light, of white light, golden light. And maybe it's just flowing through you, and who you are in this instance is just awareness. And when we just allow it to be an experience that we're having, or something that's flowing through our awareness, well, how do you feel? At that point, then, aren't we just leaving the rainbow of light, the spectrum of light, alone? The river of energy, vibration, and frequency alone? Does it actually require our interpretation? I don't believe it does. So how about this? Just imagine you're wearing a pair of glasses. Some of you are. If you are actually wearing glasses, then use your imaginary pair of glasses. And just recognize that these glasses represent your conditioned lens of perception. Just take them off. And instead of needing to interpret every experience, every energy, every frequency, every vibration that's moving through you, like you're frenetically trying to audit reality in every moment, how about you just take a breath and just allow it to remain in its infinite form? Because maybe it's only ever the need to interpret it or to identify it that gives it the form and then produces the feeling. But what happens if we just leave it alone? Just realize that all of this is just happening, it's just flowing through us. Well, then what happens? Take some breaths and let me know, because you're about to find out. And it's weird to say these things out loud, because most people are living under the illusion or the presupposition that they're moving through life. What I've discovered actually is more the fact that life is just flowing through me. I'm not making emotions happen. Emotions are just flowing through my awareness. They arise and subside. Thoughts just arise and subside inside of my awareness. The body is just an intricate, elaborate illusion to measure the passage of time. A time that you and I both know doesn't really exist. Because the awareness is infinite, eternal, and immortal. It's the part of you that never changes, that never dies, that never ends. It was never born. So all of this is just a light show. But how about we just enjoy the show? So just seeing this river of infinite light flowing through you. But instead of needing to do anything about it, maybe you can actually just leave it alone. So can you see now why I'll say things to you like you can never miss what's meant for you? Beloved, you can never miss what's meant for you because life is flowing through you. So then our suffering is only ever because of our personal interpretation of the energy, vibration, frequency, or spectrum of light, and what we make it mean about us on a personal level. But if it's just an experience that's flowing through us, then why do we have to suffer? Why do we have to make any of this mean anything about us? What about any of this means something about who you really are? Anyone? So then, isn't the emotion just washing through us? Isn't the feeling just washing through us? Aren't we ever then just having the experience that we're supposed to be having? And isn't that going to be exactly the way that it's supposed to be? Well then just take a deep breath. Maybe some of you have falsely identified with the body. And the body's an intricate design that gives you the illusion of a passage through time. When really you were just the awareness of it making its passage through time. And then doesn't every form of suffering then eventually spit you out into the truth that you're just the awareness? So then isn't that a part of it too? I know it's a lot for a Wednesday, but there's no right time to tell people that you love that they're just an infinite field of awareness, they're infinite, eternal, and immortal, and that none of this that's happening really has anything to do with them. There's no right time other than now. And it's not like you haven't been telling them, but somehow using a rainbow and an infinite river of light and light vibration and frequency seems to work really well. And the notion that life is flowing through you instead of you moving through life. Yeah. So here's where this becomes even more pertinent and powerful. Doesn't that mean then that in every moment, life is just giving you the experience that it's supposed to give you? However, if you experience it as the awareness that you are, then is there any suffering? And when there is suffering, isn't that just an opportunity to remember? I know for me, even in the most intense moments of suffering, it was so that I could surrender my individual lens of perception. And as soon as I did, freedom. Laurel. 1,516 days of call to calm. Laura Lynn. Thank you. Close your eyes, you beautiful humans. Good morning, sweet friends, and welcome to another Call to Calm meditation. Well, it's official. There is an infinite river of light, vibration, and frequency flowing through who you really are, which is this awareness, the one who is aware. And there is no longer any need to do anything with any particular flavor of light, vibration, and frequency that's moving through you. So the good news is that you're not moving through life, life is moving through you. And that the freedom comes when you no longer need to personally interpret any of it, and you can just allow everything to wash through you. In today's meditation, I'm going to try and liberate you of your individual lens of perception. This individual lens of perception takes a vibration, an energy, and a frequency, and it gives it a form. It also gives it a meaning. In the absence of the need to personally interpret energy or frequency or light, you're just always witnessing and aware. And everything remains in flow. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Close your eyes and breathe and relax, you beautiful human beings. And open your palms. Resting in the awareness of your breath transforms your life into a living meditation. Welcoming your every inhalation and exhalation. Seated where you are or laying down, seeing, feeling, experiencing, or knowing that there's an infinite river of light flowing through every human being. And with every breath becoming aware of the fact that for however many years you've been alive, you have felt the need to interpret this light, this energy, and this vibration. And you've interpreted it in the way that you've been taught to. This morning, We're going to free you of the meaning and the interpretation and just allow you to recognize that you're only ever the one who's aware. This morning, we're going to take the wrapper, the programming, the conditioning around sadness off of it. Just literally unwrapping sadness. And just noticing that as soon as you do, at its essence is just a golden light. Unwrapping this emotion that you've struggled with called anger or rage. And just noticing that once you take the wrapper off and it loses the meaning that you've given it, what it means about you specifically, that at its core, at its essence, is just a golden light. We're also going to unwrap fear in all of its manifestations. Some of my favorites: anxiety, stress, overwhelm, insecurity. Or just taking the wrapper off of that too. And realizing, whoa, fear means what other people have told me my whole life it means. But at its essence, there's this golden light in this thing too. Unwrapping your feelings, specifically the tricky ones like shame or guilt, and noticing again, wow, there's golden light here as well. Unwrapping your thoughts, your beliefs, your programming, your conditioning, the experience of mind, and all of a sudden, voila, golden light. And then, my favorite one, unwrapping the perception and the programming around physicality, a body, physical form, the physical experience, aging, etc., etc., etc. What happens when we actually take the programming and the perception off of your body? Because if I'm not mistaken, when the body ends, the light does not. Noticing that you can actually take all of the wrappers that you've placed on everything, that you can just unwrap everything and allow it all to be in its essential state: light, vibration, and frequency. Just continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath, and just allowing this infinite river of light to flow through you, and noticing that you are now more able and capable of just leaving it alone and allowing it to remain as the light that it is, the vibration that it is. So emotions just flow through you. Feelings just flow through you. Thoughts just flow through you. The activity of the mind is just happening inside of the field of awareness that you are. As does the body. But none of this is really you. Because who you really are is the awareness, the witness, the infinite, eternal, and immortal that never changes. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath, you begin to notice that the whole point of your life, and that everything that's ever happened so that you could surrender your individual interpretation and allow everything to return to its natural form, the light. So today, I no longer need to interpret my reality. I can just actually let it flow through me. Because none of it actually has anything to do with me. I am awake. I am aware. This whole thing, the matrix, the simulation, the illusion, the Maya, the ocean of samsara, the whole thing is just so that you can be freed of the illusion of yourself and return to the truth that you are the infinite, eternal, and immortal self. Or that actually you never left it. You never stopped being that. So today, I give myself the gift of no longer needing to interpret any of it. Because at its essence, no matter what it is, no matter how I experience it, is the light. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Take some deep breaths. And just noticing what it feels like to be in awareness, swimming in infinity. that actually, today we can recognize that we're not moving through life. Life is actually just flowing through us. And that once we remove the individual lens of interpretation or perception, all of a sudden we just realize, wow, hang on a minute. I don't need to turn this into something. I don't need to give it a form. I don't have to continue to interpret it through my individual conditioned lens of programming or perception. I can just let it flow. And what's happening? Who you really are. Who you really are is revealing itself to you. And just in case you're still confused, who you really are is the part of you that never changes, the infinite, eternal, and immortal witness. Send you all a big hug from me. Okie dokie. Today's Wednesday. It's July the 16th. This has been the most outrageous 16 days ever. 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 Group alignment session today. Time to surrender our individual lens of perception and instead just experience everything in its true form, which is this light, this love, this life thing. And I said this last night. Even if we never had another day of meditations or monologues or any of this, the last 16 days have been more powerful than everything that's ever come before it. So it's always gradually, slowly, suddenly, then all at once. I think it's safe to say that we're in the all at once phase. So, come back to your breath and recognize that all of these things that you're experiencing are things that are just flowing through the awareness that's the truth of you. Thanks for being in my life. I love you all with all my heart. All of you over there on YouTube, hit the bell button, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your pets they love me. If they could subscribe, they would. Okay, have a fantastic day. And remember that the only reason why you suffer or struggle with life is because you are holding on to your interpretation or perception of it instead of the truth of it. As soon as you become aware of any form of suffering, just take a breath and remember that life is just flowing through you, that life is just an infinite river of light, vibration, and frequency moving through you. Shout out to all the pets. It's wonderful having you all here. Yes, your humans are evolving. You're welcome, pets. Okay, everybody. Take care. Love you all with all my heart. And I'll see you in the group alignment session. Be well.